G'day and welcome to this WorkZerk contractor onboarding demo. I'm Chris Jack, I'm the founder of WorkZerk, and in this quick demo I'm just going to take you through how quick and easy it is to invite onboardees into WorkZerk, get them onboarded and even reject some compliance that's been sent and show you the whole workflow. And first thing I want to do is just go into spaces. Now spaces are sort of like a container akin to workspaces, so it's really short for workspaces. And here I've set up 5 different spaces within the organization. So you've got finance, events, marketing, operations, and people. So the idea here is that you can change the branding for each space, even change who you onboard. So the finance department might be onboarding creditors or debtors, and the events company might be onboarding contractors. So it really depends. You can change the vernacular or what you call things. It's called the role singular and role plural here in the space settings. You can also change all your branding here. So that orange color, that bright orange color, which some people love and some people hate, that's just a default. You can change that to whatever your brand colors are. And you can change the portal banner image, which appears along the top of the portal. I'm going to be showing you exactly what the portal looks like very shortly. Let's go back into the main screen here and let's actually just add someone to be onboarded. So let's call them Chris Jack, and I'll just use an email address that I've got access to here. So you just literally type their name followed by their email address. That's one way to do it. You can also add onboardees, or in this case contractors, from your existing contacts, because within WorkZerk you've got a centralized contact database. So that's shared amongst the space, which is really powerful because it means you don't have to re-enter information. So in this case I'm going to sort of like manually type them in. I'm going to validate, and you can see here we've got add new because WorkZerk has not been able to discover an existing contact with the same email address, so it's deemed that to be a new onboardee. So let's add that member and watch just down the bottom there. You'll see Chris Jack is added. Now just note one thing, that little onboarding icon is red. That means that Chris is not onboarded yet. So let's see first how we can invite Chris to view his personalized portal. So we're going to select Chris. You can actually select multiple members if you need to. Just going to select Chris and invite. Send member portal invites. This will send portal invites to 1 members with a valid email address. Are you sure you wish to send? Yes. You'll notice here that this graph changed, this little donut, because we've got 2 emails queued to send in the background, and we've got 10 which are sent. So that's basically the invitation status here. And then here we've got the onboarding status. So you've got effectively 3 statuses: unverified, onboarded, and onboarded. And yes, onboarded is, well, it's not a real word, but it is sort of an acceptable word for a term meaning that they have not been onboarded yet. Now, let's go into email. Very shortly, we will receive, or I will receive, an invite to view the portal and complete the onboarding. I'm going to hear that noise in the background when the email comes in. But just before that, I'm going to go into onboarding and show you how the onboarding workflow is set up. So this is effectively a section within onboarding, and each of these are steps. So there's going to be all those steps that are going to be presented. That's the email just come in. All those steps are going to be presented to the onboardee to complete. So let's just look at one of those steps. So I'm going to edit that. This is what's known as an onboarding step template. We can edit the instructions. Very cool that it's full rich text, which means you can change your colors and styling and everything like that. And for this particular step, so in WorkZerk, you've got content, which is what you provide to the onboardee, effectively instructions. Within the content, you can add links, you can add images, PDFs, you can display them inline, which means they just appear, or you can display them as clickable links so they have to click on them and open them up. In this case, we don't need additional links or files, so just going to leave that like that. And also with this particular step, there's no input required from the onboardee. They are required, however, to upload one file, which is a copy of their bank statement. So the whole point of this onboarding workflow is to provide a copy of a bank statement with your BSB and account number. And it's used by the finance department to verify bank account details so money isn't sent to the wrong person. If you were onboarding contractors, then you'd probably have other steps for, maybe submitting swims and things like that. In which case you would probably have more than one maximum upload, and you probably also want a prompt for the expiry date. Note also that approval is checked. That means that the onboardee can complete onboarding, but it will still be unverified until an admin user has checked what they've submitted and, human in the loop. Let's go back. Let's pop into my email here. We can see that an invite has arrived. So this is exactly what the onboardee, in this case, a contractor, would see. They're going to see that. They're going to see a warning saying this is your private link, do not share it. And that's going to be a link to their portal. You can also access the portal from contractors just by clicking on the portal link here. Let's click on that and let's have a look at the onboarding process. So this is what Chris is going to see when he completes his onboarding. Very straightforward, very simple, very minimalist, just what he needs to complete whatever has been requested. So if we click on incomplete, it's very clear that it is incomplete. He is not onboarded yet. Got red exclamation marks everywhere where things have not been completed. Drop everything down. You've got the instructions here. You've got that inline image in one of the previous steps showing a sample of what is required, and anything in orange, and in this case that's the accent color, you can change that to your branding. Just going to acknowledge that, and that's acknowledging that and completing that step as far as compliance is concerned. So let's go into here. You can see the asterisk means that that field is required. So I'm going to have to complete these to complete onboarding. Go and put in the BSB and account number, and I'm going to upload a file. And now that image of hopefully my bank statement is uploading. You can also describe it here if you need to, if that's useful. It would be useful if you're uploading swims, for example. And let's save that. I'm going to sign this. I won't use my exact signature, not that it's pretty similar actually. Bit of a mess. We'll submit that, and submit responses is simply submitting these fields. So that, as you can see, is the last step in the onboarding process. So watch very closely in the center of the screen. You'll see a green onboarding circle, which sort of signifies onboarding is complete. Boom, and we're onboarded. Success, you are now onboarded. A receipt has been emailed. So let's go back into WorkZerk and just notice here that that little icon has changed to green. So once an onboardee is onboarded, WorkZerk updates in real time, sort of like a chat application. It instantly will update and tell you, hey, they've just been onboarded. So it's very easy and quick to see who's on board, or you can just click on onboarded there, unonboarded, unverified, etc. So that we know that Chris has been onboarded because he's completed everything that he had to complete, right? But is he verified? No, he's not verified because it was that verification request on the document. So if we click on verification, this is all of the steps that Chris has completed. We call them actions. So each of these is an individual action, all date and time stamped. You can just, view the signatures and stuff from here. And importantly, it's saying, hey, verify that bank statement. Let's make sure that the BSB and account number is legible and matches what was provided. So let's verify that. And unfortunately, I didn't actually upload a file. So, well, I did upload an image, but it's not displaying because it was a corrupt image. So let's go into reject and tell the member that, or in this case, contractor. So we'll go, Chris, sorry, the image you uploaded was corrupted and is not displaying correctly. Okay, and we'll reject that. Now you can, by default, it will email the contractor when something is rejected. And that saves you from going into email, finding their email address, composing an email, don't going through all that process. That's just very quick and instant. So let's reject that. We've got the reason there, because the file must have been corrupted. And I've now sent that reject reason, or WorkZerk has, in the background. Okay, so let's go back into email, and very shortly we'll just go through some, you can see it's arrived already. So we've got that file upload rejected action required email. So that will tell Chris the reason that the compliance step was rejected. It's because it was corrupted. And that will suggest to Chris to go back in there and re-upload it. Okay, so you've closed the loop effectively. Let's have a look at the onboarding receipt. So this is what Chris received in the background after he completed the compliance. So it's got everything in here. So it's got all the instructions. So yeah, they are all included because that's important to prove something in the future. Everything's date and time stamped. And we scroll down here, you'll see there's a warning there, approval pending. Admins will now manually approve your submissions. You'll receive another email once approved. And yeah, that's the onboarding receipt that the onboardee receives. So that's basically a quick demo of WorkZerk. There's heaps more to it, but that's pretty much how you add an onboardee or a contractor or whatever you're calling them into WorkZerk and get them onboarded quickly. Any questions, please email us, hello@workzerk.com.au. Check out our website as well. We've got a 30-day trial, which includes 50 onboarding credits, so you can actually get started for a month and onboard lots of people for free. And yeah, we welcome any feedback. Thanks for watching.